simultaneously. And if you have questions, you can here type in here, or if it's difficult, type in here, send it to the WhatsApp group, and I can respond. Or even if you want to send it privately, no harm, I can send it and I can respond to that. So get into chapter 7. We're supposed to do say batch quantity EB to begin. However, since it's a standalone topic, we can do it any time. And now we have today and tomorrow to just myself. I complete this chapter is what I'm thinking of. Or even if it's not the case, I can significantly cover this chapter 7. That's the plan. That's why I started with this new chapter of main. Maintenance. About what is maintenance first. Any idea? Chat window open. You can share your on what is maintenance according to you. So I miss in this online sessions the ability to direct into a conversation with this group. So main machinery. That's sir. Take care of something. Okay. Take prop. Next, taking care. So there is things, right? One is, say, even for our own health. Think about maintain your health. There are two things. One is we go to treatment after we are some ailment. What is that? I'm having cold. I go for treatment. I take medicines. That's also that I'm treating myself, maintaining myself. And the eating healthy, doing your exercises, the habits to maintain yourself well. So, same way, missionary context, there are as such as to service or repair the equipment to ensure it works. As our own selves, we healthy, running around, taking care of our things. So, do stay fit, eat healthy, live healthy. When some problem comes up, health, you treat. So, service keeps maintaining the healthy to ensure it continues to work with meter or having optimized lifespan and output. So, the machinery for as long as I need to its useful life. Suppose machinery has a 20-year useful life, it should be working efficiently for those 20 years. And I don't expect it to work efficiently if I just keep using it and then don't take care of it. Regularly take care of the machinery by serving it regularly. Problem, I need to fix the problem. That is repairing to ensure continues to work. So here, let's go in bit. So this is all about maintenance. So say again, I ask you to always think of simple examples. Don't try to get into a large sugar factory or a chemical factory. It's comprehend what is happening in there. We are learning. When we start working in a factory, then we'll understand, because we are looking at the factory, the maintenance, the activities of this maintenance department, production department, everything up close. So you will understand it better. Even it would take few years for you to get a complete picture of what is happening in that factory. Let's take simple examples. Your bike or your two-wheeler is also a machine. You are supposed to service it, repair it, so that it continues to work. Otherwise, what will happen? It will have some problems. Not what it is expected to deliver. It is supposed to transport you from point A to point B without trouble. That you will be stranded in the traffic. Those can happen. Your machinery will break down, happen. Then you have to wait for some mechanic to come there. Waste of time. All maintenance. Sort of maintenance, as we were discussing. So your stops in the middle of nowhere. So it stops suddenly to correct it. Another something to ensure that it doesn't stop this way. So these are different types. We'll see more in detail. One is breakdown maintenance. Breakdowns after it breaks down. So with our health, after we have a problem, we are trying to tend to it. A pill or some syrup or some medicine to. So it is breakdown maintenance. What is the breakdown maintenance? Suddenly it stops. Take case of your bike. Suddenly your bike stops. It will result in big loss. Or you're going to your exam. So it is very important that we have it in very good running condition. Check it for servicing. So again, it's all important when you're preparing for your exams. Your vehicle must also be ready to support you to go to all that. So it will say what will happen. It will stop the machinery from functioning. And the factory, suddenly their one machinery is going to stop. Their production can stop. That will affect the delivery also. Say your bike stops, what you have to do may not immediately happen. You're supposed to be at the exam hall at 9 and you are finding that there's a breakdown and the mechanic shop around. You lose valuable time at that point in time. So your production, delivery, and all that. And in this case, you are the customer. You will be upset with what has happened. In a production proper factory, if they are delivering their goods on time, they have to cut a surface in front of their customer. They are going to be upset because just this in the previous chapters, right? Companies which supply to these car manufacturers. So factories set up, all ancillary units are also set up near there. The facilitation we talked about. An ancillary unit has a problem. Their machinery goes down. They are not able to supply a gradient. Suppose supplying wiper motors, car wipers, right? Supplying wiper motors, wipers to these manufacturers, and they are stop production because of machinery breakdown. Can the car go out? Complete car go out? No. The production is stopped. You would heard about or read about just in time in chapter 4. Just in time inventory is these days don't buy huge quantities and store it in their offices, their warehouses. Tell the ancillary units that I want these products supplied, ingredients supplied at morning each day. I don't want to stock anything. Factory needs to send out 100 cars per day. Then just ask tire manufacturer to send 500 tires. That's 7. They want more than that. All tires, 5 each for 100 car, will come on the morning of production. Be directly sent to assembly. Similarly, wiper motors, they need 100 wiper motors. Here is a rear wiper, 200 wiper motors. 200 wiper motors will just be sent to the factory on the day of production. the problem with the say of Viper motors. What happened? The whole manufacturing of the car can stop. So it is the risk, and the customer is not going to be just not satisfied, but is going to switch from you as a supplier to somebody else. So you playing motors, they'll tell that okay, I don't want your motors anymore. You spoil my production on a day. Not maintaining your stuff properly, you'll go to somebody else. So that is the risk you are at. Machinery stops functioning. Suppose you don't take care of your bike properly. Engine is change engine oils regularly. What might have experienced it. Not if you don't change engine oil according to the schedule, the engine will start say collecting dust. The say bad substance start getting collected engine, and engine will cease. One engine ceases, you have to change your bike, or you have to do a major repair which could cost few thousand rupees, to correct it. So the cost of fixing the problem could also be exorbitant. Say with human beings, right? When somebody has a big ailment, they don't take care of their health, they keep smoking, and they get into a cancer situation, and you have to spend lots of rupees to correct it, lakhs of rupees to correct it, and even after that, you are not sure whether you will recover to the normal life having earlier. The same thing with your breakdown maintenance. You don't take care of your vehicles properly, or properly, it breaks down. You may have to spend a lot of money to correct the problem, and even then the function optimally. It's required to give you 500 units per day output. It may not give you that. It will go down. It is supposed to give it in a particular quality. The quality may go down because you have not maintained it well. The plastic manufacturer, their molds properly, their machinery properly. When some poor quality plastic, you will see some say one plastic sides where there are joints, you have some extra plastic, thin films of plastic come out as part of the product. Whenever some cheap plastic, you will see that. Well-maintained product, a very well-maintained machinery providing quality products may not have that film of plastic outside the original shape. Leakages, the machinery is not maintained properly, the mold should set on. If it's not setting properly, there are small leaks of plastic coming out and will dry up and will be looking like a film, extra overflown film on the shape of the you're buying. So you're down. So many problems will come if you are to doing just breakdown maintenance. Breakdown maintenance, after failure happens, you are going to fix it. You are maintenance. So let's go next. Maintenance. So prevention is better than cure. We have read that so many times, heard that so many times. The previous one is a cure. Not a perfect cure, it's just fixing the problem, but here you are trying to prevent it from happening. It's leading healthy lifestyle, don't smoke and don't have bad habits, any other bad habits, and then go to on time, eat healthy, are very important for lifestyle. Simply for a machinery, you take care of your, say when you are taking care of your own vehicles, oiling it, dusting it, then washing it once in a while, doing regular maintenance, servicing. We call it servicing normally in vehicle terms. So give it servicing every 3 months, change the oils, say when some brake malfunctions, correct it. So your is in very good running condition. How is it done? Maintenance They keep regularly checking all the possible weak points in the machinery. Whenever there is a problem, just replace it. Before statistically, you have been using this machinery for say 10 years now, and you know when a part will fail. You can hit and say that okay, there is a problem here. Your tires, about your tires, you know that when the thread marks have all gone, uh, for 10,000 kilometers, 15,000 kilometers, they said okay, it's time I change my tires because it's worn out. Otherwise, you will start having more punctures, and you have to lose your valuable time, your transport, and all that. So identify those weak items, regularly check, and if, even before they fail, correct it. And again, regularly checking all these parts. When you would have heard some or seen some advertisement tires saying that 20 point checkup for your vehicles, 40 points checkup for your vehicles. What are they trying to do? They need to look at all the possible uh, components in your vehicle that can fail to they are all in good running condition, oil levels, and brake wires and starters and so on and so forth, batteries. They check everything and ensure that it's all in very good condition. So periodic checks. This, what do you achieve? You can avoid unanticipated breaks. Means suddenly you don't even know that it's going to happen, and it happens, then you are not prepared for it. So when I already checked that your tire is worn out, you might have changed the tire, or you know that there is a risk of the tire say, going out onto some important meeting or an exam. So start early. So know that there is a risk. You should have changed the tire, but you didn't find time. So at least you are now prepared. Okay, just in case my exam is 15 minutes from my home, and if I start at 8:45 to be there at 9, it will be a risk. So let me start at 7:45. And tire fails, at least I'll have some alternative. I can leave the vehicle by the side of the road and take an auto or something. It's always the plan. You can reduce that unanticipated risk. So be prepared for it. That advantage of preventive maintenance. As to be managed by production and maintenance departments. So sometimes it will be managed by production department themselves. The same example, I'm going back to your vehicles. You can check all these yourselves, not very complicated. Give it to a mechanic regularly, and he'll check it for you. Mechanic once in a while go check all this oil level, water levels, batteries. You regularly go check it. He'll dip and see how much distilled water is left out, and he'll refill it. All are the preventive maintenance. You can do it yourselves, or take it to a mechanic and ensure he's doing it. Or air levels in the tires. Check it yourselves when you're filling fuel. You can check it, or you can have your small pump of your own, and then you can filling it whenever you need. Or take a mechanic to ensure it's regularly filled. So preventive maintenance benchmarks. There may not be questions from this. From theory is possible, not problems. We don't have problems relating to this. So the benchmarks are inspections incomplete. Until inspections scheduled is less than 10%. That is, if you plan 1,000 inspections in a tree, you complete 9 inspections. You can, so you missed incomplete ones should be less than 10% to ensure you are well. And then hours worked for maintenance by scheduled hours. So I plan to work 40 hours this week or 400 hours this week with 10 people, 400 hours this week. I'm working only 380 hours, that's 8%. 420 hours, that is 105%. So depending on how many hours you work, you know you have formed in terms of use of time. Both these must be looked at. Say on 20% of my time, I planned 400 hours, I worked 20 hours, excellent. But the actions complete is only 95%. Or my full inspection is 5%. So even after I work 20% more, I couldn't complete all the inspections. So there is some problem. You can go on you to correct the problem. And the downtime or means stopped for maintenance. Again, it should not be too much. You do regular maintenance, say your own two-wheelers, you have to really service it. Because it takes 2 days per week to service, they're not efficient. So every week, 2 days, you will not be able to use your vehicle. And the same thing if you think about for a machinery, think about if they are not able to use it for 2 days in a week, they go down, their cost will go up, and so on and so forth. I'm just being disturbed by, I'm at my home and in the street, I can hear some two button, and they don't know whether you can hear it in the mic. They've been to last 5 minutes. Because lens is not there, their vehicle is not starting as expected. They are pressing the button and it's not working now. So, downtime will be to the minimum. So if I need only 2 hours per month to maintenance for my bike, it's reasonable. If it's 2 days per week, then it's totally unreasonable. I may not want to even do that. So that is a downtime. You have to plan for that properly. And breakdown frequency. Frequently is the breakdown happening. So breakdowns on the available machine hours. So this is from your book. Actually, I believe it should be the reverse. Available machine hours is 1000. And that I had say 5 breakdowns. Breakdown frequency is 1 breakdown every 2 hours. So just so 5 breakdowns. Available hours was frequency 1 by 5. So down. So as I'm going to have a breakdown. So I'll look at it. But books yes. So the number is not represented because this is the number of breakdowns. And this is looking at frequency. I'm sorry. Every time there is a main breakdown happening. So the cut it. So, and the newness of planning. How well have you done your planning? Layers on schedule maintenance. Total spent on maintenance. What and versus what I achieved. So similar to the second one, what I worked and how many hours I scheduled. One way of performance measure. The same thing is effectiveness. Labors on schedule maintenance. For this maintenance, how many hours I scheduled. Here it looks at whether I spent that 400 hours or not. I want to spend 400 hours. Did I spend it or not? Here, completing this maintenance, I need 400 hours. For all the maintenance, without missing out anything, how long did I take? So, suppose a factory needs to work for maintenance, say 250 machines. So 215 machines, I need to spend 4 to 100% 100% machines. But how did I take? I took 450 as actual. So I can only 400, but I took 400. My efficiency is only 88%. See effectiveness measure. Or time due to maintenance, actual downtime. You got it from downtime as well. Downtime is the method working. So maintenance time was 10 hours. Actual was. If you look at the number, you don't have to even remember the formula. You look at the number. My plan was 10 hours. My actual was 12 hours. I spent 2 hours more. Just 10, 12. I was 83% efficient. I'm 25% efficient. So look what you will get as the answer. You can then plan what is in the numerator, what is in the denominator. You can do it, but if you don't remember it, at least get the number and know, okay, my plan was only 10 hours of downtime, but my actual was 12 hours. That's bad. Final answer should also be less than 100% because 100% is good. Even 100%, 10 bytes less than 100%. So it's a bad number. Again, plan is 10 and my actual is 8. The final number must be better than 100 because 100 is the normal level. I'm better than 100. So, because my required was only, my plan was 10 hours, but I actually used only 8 hours to service all the machinery. Or the downtime was only hours. So, these are all the things you have to think if you cannot remember it by heart. Okay, so moving on. The maintenance, you by now that and breakdowns, suddenly unanticipated breakdowns are avoided. In case bikes, you don't do preventive checks to your brakes, your brake fail, and it's for the driver that the brakes are tested regularly. Large scale repairs. When you are regularly maintaining your vehicle, there won't be large scale repairs. As I said, if you are regularly changing your engine oil and then servicing things regularly, clearing your oil filters, doing all that, your engine will be in very good condition. It will not result in a large repair. If it will do few thousand rupees. So that's a large scale repair. Otherwise, maintenance would be 400, 500 rupees once in 3 months. You do that right, it will be in very good condition. In case your standby is an auto, two-wheeler fails, you park it by the side and take an auto. But for a factory, they do that. They have a standby equipment. Standby means alternate. Suppose there is a tour operator regularly having sent to or buses sent to various destinations. Suppose it fails, one of the buses is not working, he can just say, I'll cancel the trip today. Customers want to be upset, so you need to have 1 or 2 standby buses. Whenever something happens, the standby bus could be used. So, simply a factory must have some standby equipment to ensure stoppage is minimum. There is no sudden stoppage. So, you have to plan for that as well. That is important. If you are having poor maintenance, you need to have more standby vehicles. If you have maintenance, you can have 1 or 2 standby equipment. That again is a capital cost. I invest money in this standby equipment, service that as well. So there are a lot of problems. I can keep minimal so that my cost is minimal. So the advantage of preventive maintenance. If it's not, I need to have more and the cost will go up. And then lower unit cost. When the overall cost is reduced, it's again part of the costing. So if maintenance cost is reduced, this is the overhead. And reduce my total cost per unit will also go down. And as telling, if the maintenance is very good, there will be good quality. If your vehicle is very well maintained, you can go at consistent speed and you can ride safely. These are all of your riding. If your observers are good, you will not feel back pain. If your vehicle is in better quality, then say your factory goods and machinery is in very good quality, the output will also be in very good quality. Machines, again, we talked about it. When you're maintaining it, the vehicle will come for longer time. And you have experienced grandparents or parents, they would use their vehicles for 20 years in nice running condition. But today, when your own friends or you yourself probably bought a fancy looking 200cc bike, you are not able to use it beyond 5 years because the maintenance is not that great. You're always going around, find time, allocate time. Time is always there, but you don't allocate time to clean it up, service it regularly, then it will fail within. And you want to change it, go to a new vehicle. So are the challenges of down maintenance. And maintenance will increase the lifespan of machines. And then industrial relations. So when you maintain your vehicle machinery well, they don't have problems with your laborers or your inspection authorities, and you are in a very good position. So these are the advantages of preventive maintenance. Now that I've been non-stop talking for close to 35 minutes, I'll pause for a while. If you have since, okay, there are some questions already. Downtime. Stopping the machine for this servicing. So you have a machine or the same when you have a bike, you can shop for 2 hours, 3 hours or a day to service it. That is downtime. Downtime is when the machine is not being used, not in a position to be used because it is under repair servicing. Running time. Downtime is not able to use because a maintenance activity is happening. It is your downtime. And I'll breather 1 minute. Okay. I should assume that you have all understood this. Yes, sir. And we'll go to that in a bit. Let's look at theory because, as I said, not just about problems. It all has a lot of theory. So especially all these chapters, they'll ask 1 or 2 theory questions, 2 marks, 3 marks, or even in the 1 mark. So ensure you understand all this. So maintenance, checking all the key parts in the equipment and ensuring it's not going to fail, and if it's going to fail, replacing it beforehand. That is our preventive maintenance. And the root maintenance is the oiling of all the parts, cleaning it, regular overhaul or service. Whether it is failed or not, in general, you have to keep your machine well oiled. It's important. When you give it to servicing, they do all this. And there is some pay part. You're experienced in making your vehicle, they'll tell you. You go to them, they change all the oils, and then say lubricate all the tires and then the axles and the speed uh, say what that the shock absorbers, brake wires, everything they'll clean and then lubricate it and all that. And if there are some points when checking that something requires a change, it is a preventive check. They're checking parts and they need those to be changed. They'll tell you. So there is a failing part, you have to change it and decide whether you want to change it or just repair and use it for a few more months, years. That's but they will tell you that sir, these parts are failing. Do you want to change it as part of maintenance? So routine maintenance, preventive maintenance, breakdown maintenance. Routine maintenance is regularly checking the machine, oiling it, and then ensuring it's cleaned and it's ready for production. Probably it's a daily exercise. As soon as they come in the morning, uh, they uh, your preventive maintenance, checking all the key parts to ensure that it is running in very good condition. And if there are some parts that are failing, you need to change it, like our tube, all these needs to be changed. You have to check regularly. Then the other one is a breakdown maintenance. The third one is not very good one, breakdown maintenance. Only after something fails, you go and try to fix it. So that's your breakdown maintenance. So this is very important. It ensures that the vehicle is completely in very good condition and it is running properly, no worry at all. And the servicing. So both these are addressed during the weekly service or monthly service, quarterly service you do for your. So you have to plan for this. You have to put this ahead of time so that the machine is not affected. Talk to the department, bring it down a weekend when people are not using it, and then say do them on that day. So your routine maintenance. Either do it in time on a Sunday. They'll really so Sunday everything goes down, and then if the factory is not working, only the department will come in and do this lubrication activity, or use standby equipments. Probably they may keep changing standby equipment. So for that, you need to plan how many standby equipments I need. How long should I take this one machine out? Suppose you see unit of a machine. I need pieces of a machine, 6 pieces. And what do? I keep changing one piece, take it out, do the regular lubrication, cleaning, and all that. Then back into production after one day. How will it come out? One day it will come out. The day the next machine. In rotation, I'll keep changing one machinery out, clean it, and put it back. So that all the machines are in very good condition. So for this, you need to do a cost analysis of, say, cost benefit analysis of whether you need so many standby equipment, or you just do it by for maintenance on a weekend. You can also do that. Because you have additional equipment, standby equipments, you need to worry about cost, initial capital cost, depreciation, that affect your profits, and then maintenance also is to be done for all these standby equipment. So all these must be considered while you are planning for these standby equipment in routine maintenance. So, John, say once you are connected to this subject, you are ready reading about this subject, you understand it. Say a sport. So regularly you will understand what they are talking about when they say it's a flick, it is a nick. They use all these new words, right? Small, fancy words that are it's a clean. It was swept well. So who's sweeping there? Is somebody sweeping the floor? No, but they call it. It's a nice sweep, reverse sweep, drive. Drive. When do they call all this? Say these are all jargons for that sports. Once you start watching this, you will start understanding what they are saying. Similarly, to get clear with all the jargons in the subject, you need to get with the subject, start loving it, start reading it regularly. Then you will understand what they are talking about. And that you have to also uh, say, uh, say with simple examples. Connect with the Reliance Industries and the Tata Motors. Look for examples and to connect it with small examples. The we have used so far are your roadside food corner, idli shops, and then your simple uh, say a making company. All the type of examples we are looking at, right? So try to connect to these small simple examples, understand the jargons. So stay in touch with the subject. That's very important. Not just this, every subject. You go accounting term to a non-accountant, they will not understand. Say it's a say undercasting error. Will somebody understand what is an undercasting error? Somebody who's done accounting and who has read say application of errors will understand what you're talking about. So, yeah. Okay. Using a machine for a particular number of years, I need to replace it. So when you don't want to replace it, then it will be too early a replacement, unnecessary capital expenditure, loss in values, possible, your profits will go down. Or too long, what machinery may fail, so production may be affected if you're too long. Similarly, should I change my vehicle in 3 years, 4 years? No, it's too early. Should I have 20 years? Probably it's too late. Replace it. This main problem, replacement related problem. You have to balance it. There are some problems relating to this. When you come to that, we'll see. But regarding most of these topics we're discussing now, there'll be some problem. When we do that problem, you'll understand. Okay, this is what we were reading in that section. So, and then maintenance is nothing maintenance department. The people are doing the maintenance. Separate department to do this. Uh, can the production team do on their own? Yeah, but may require some special skills. Say because you are riding your bike for 5 years, using yourselves, removers and the engine and all the components, oil it, replace it, fit into a fully functional bike. I don't know. My bicycle and it was not going very well. Then I took it to a cycle. He said that sir, somebody has poorly done this fixing. So leave it for a day. I'll do the complete overhaul and give it to you. I didn't tell that I was the one who tried to remove all the parts and tried to reassemble it. I did that, but uh, that's what we are trying to do in a factory. When you use the production people to do the maintenance, they say I can do it. They'll put some oil here and there, and then if it's not working, they say that no, I'm not an expert. Just a moment. You have to depend on an expert. That's why in large organizations, suppose see you are looking at all these large industries, right? When raising capital, uh, Reliance raised about 12,000 crores in capital. Tata raised 30,000, 40,000 crores in capital. What are they doing? Are they going to spend on buying teas and samosas? No, they are going to buy large industry equipments. They are having their plants, new plants built, or they are buying some large factory. They need to have a solid department to do maintenance. It cannot be done by everyone. So the org structure, I just picked it from your book. It's good to have such a large organization which completely focuses on maintenance. So on the safety of the machinery and then replacement decisions. All these are taken care by this department. So these are all various Regular service, maintenance workshop, where you have to do a component, take it, clean it, and then bring it back to your maintenance workshop. And then safety aspects are taken care by some. Maintenance is taken care by some. And spares and spares for all this. You need to buy the bolts, nuts, and all the other components, oil, everything must be in stock. So the team which is managing all the stores and spares. So when you read through this auction once again, you will try and okay what they are trying to do here and why we need such a big department to manage all this. Because production people are going to be focusing on their production. Somebody else who is ensuring that things are running well. Family, only a mother takes care of all our health. We expect we be doing our work, especially father. If you look at him, he keeps running around working, even late, get up early, leave to work. So somebody who's ensuring that is maintained well is your mother. She's ensuring that he's fed that healthy food at the right time. If there are some medicines to be taken, she brings it and ensures he takes it, and so on and so forth. So that's a separate department because he's running around to for the well-being of the family. There must be somebody else who is there to take care of his health. So like all you all. So you are all trying to study all the time. Many of you may be comfortable sitting at home and studying because your mom gives you that tea. You well need it around 2 in the afternoon when you're continuously reading for 3-4 hours. You would love tea, hot tea, or giving some food one while, not letting you starve for long. When you're staying in your hostels and studying, nobody's going to take care of you like that. So it's an important function. So that in a factory where they're spending tens of thousands of crores to build this infrastructure, it's a department that's needed to take care of it. Maintenance work. How would routine maintenance can happen? There must be a maintenance request. Like you take your vehicle to a service center, the product say that I believe my machine, the work equipment I'm working on needs some overhauling or some servicing. Can you please take a look at it? That is a request coming from the production floor. That must be addressed. Or there is a routine process. You create a routine request so you go automatically attend to it. That's one. Maintenance stores, as I said, all the nuts, bolts, different components, pipes, whatever goes into that oil, all this must be ready. Not say I don't have that component. So where is it? Can I go to market and buy it? No, you have to go to Germany to import it. How long will I keep this in idle? Germany, paperwork, importing, all this would take about 3 months. So please don't use the machinery for 3 months. Think of, so if you have to stop your production for 3 months, that's it. Factories were affected during this COVID, right? 3 months of non-existence may as well close down the total factory. So you cannot take those chances. If there are some components like that, you have to buy it and keep it ready. So that is the maintenance stores. That's very important. Out of all the maintenance done, that is also very important. When was the last maintenance done? If you got all the safety cylinders, that extinguishers, fire extinguishers, in some large supermarket, mall, or movie halls, with some dates written on that. So last checked so and so date because it needs to have that etc. to clean. So you will see that last serviced on date and next service due date. So it is supposed to be maintained and kept up to date. You'll see this in hospitals. Many places you'll see these fire extinguishers. When you go and see that, there's a lot of when was the last maintenance done, when is the next maintenance due. That is very important to track. Similarly, you will set in all factories as well. They need to know when was the last maintenance done, when is the next due. If you have a car, they only put a stick on in your a place where you can see it as to when is the next service due. They'll date or the kilometer. They'll stick it into your the front mirror glass corner, so it will be prominent. You will see that okay, the service is due in 5 weeks. I need to plan for that. I need to leave my vehicle with the service center for a year or two to service it. all very important. To ensure effectiveness, that's also important for an effective maintenance organization. There must be a good supervision. So some responsible for the entire maintenance must be good. They must be monitoring all the activities happening. Chief engineer, whom you saw in the previous slide, is supposed to ensure that all his departments are doing well. It is safety or stores and spares or regular maintenance or workshop, everyone's doing well, and provide clear instructions to them as to how to do, whether it's to their immediate bosses or to those working on the floor. Say engineers working on the floor or the technicians working on the floor must get proper instructions. Coordinate with production, calling the work and coordinating with the production. Last example is, say I just go and stationary and start servicing whenever I want. Right, as a maintenance department, I need to take permission from the production, who is the user. Suppose you have given the responsibility of servicing your bike to father. He takes it to service whenever he wants. Say, suppose he does it on a Monday morning. You want to give your exam that is on the December 11th, 10th. Your bike, you quickly come out at 8 o'clock to see where your bike is not there. And he, okay, I just left it for maintenance. You ask him, why did you do that? You asked me to do the maintenance, I'm doing it today. You have plans for that day, or he'll know your exam dates. So suppose you are planning to go to a movie that day, and then you see that your vehicle is not there, then you will be upset, and he'll tell that, sorry, I just gave it for maintenance because you just want me to ensure in good running condition. I didn't plan this today. Say if it's in a factory, the production department has a huge order. Some manufacturing sweet manufacturing unit of sweet stall chain. 5 days before Diwali, they bring it down for maintenance. A week-long complete maintenance. I'm bringing down the entire machines. All machines are going to be shut down. It's good time for a week. I'm going to clean it all up. Think as they say, this is what will happen. That's season, right? So you are supposed to get business orders, major orders during that season, and you see that the machines are not working that week. That's a poor planning. So all planning coordination must happen. Working with the production department, they know how many hours are pending, when they are supposed to deliver, and how long can they wait. All that. Training, people who are doing this service must be very well trained. You cannot give it to some novice. I gave my own example. I was trying to do it. It was a failure. And then good scheduling, again scheduling, working with the production department to ensure that nothing is affected. Record keeping, we just saw that the importance of record keeping, and stock of stores and spares. These are all to ensure that it is doing well, to ensure the effectiveness of the maintenance. Again, all the terms, then you'll be able to just keep doing it. Operating condition, best working condition. Your vehicle must give you 60 km per hour, and it is giving you 60 km per liter. It is giving km per liter of fuel. We are happy. You have maintained it very well, and it is giving you very good output. And then accuracy of service, downtime, faster production. The machine meets the needs. So you want to do something with the machine, it's meeting the needs. So, and then improve productivity. Can it maintain it well? Even a machine will do as good as a machine, so it will improve productivity. Unwanted additional capital. Suppose the machinery is not working well, you need to have some backup machinery or you replace it. Additional capital is required. That's a risk. So maintenance costs and factory overheads are minimum. So regularly doing the maintenance, we just saw in the beginning of this chapter, breakdown maintenance is costly. Preventive maintenance, routine maintenance is cheaper. So maintenance cost is cheaper if you are doing regular maintenance. And then of the vehicle will also go up. The factory machine will also go up. You see in your own vehicle examples. So, questions? I'll share with all of you, so don't worry about that. Say I'll okay. So and routine. Routine maintenance is cleaning, oiling, lubrication. So that is your routine, which should not for regular points, say taking it to a service center, but you yourself must be doing all this, checking your air pressure. That maintenance. Don't wait till you will. All these are routine stuff you do yourself. Can be done even by the maintenance department. Preventive maintenance is coming and checking all the key so, say an more example, you enough water, sufficient food, don't overeat, and then have a healthy lifestyle. These are routine maintenance for your better health. Coming to preventive maintenance, go for your health checkup. The older people, your father, parents, or grandparents, they go for regular health checkup. They check all their vital signs in the health, ECG, EKG, whatever terms are there. They spend 1,000 or 2,000 to do a complete body checkup, preventive maintenance. Everything is working well, and if there are some problems here and there, small problems, they in short they consult a doctor and take medicine. It's not bad, becoming bad. And maintenance. Well, you don't care about anything. You don't go to doctor, you don't eat well, you don't drink enough water, you have a very bad lifestyle. As the parts start failing, then go to a doctor. He'll tell that there needs to be a surgery. I need to open this part, cut open that part, take it out, throw it away, just stitch back. They'll tell you so many things. So all those are maintenance. So routine, all the basic needs like your air pressure in the air, fuel, probably even battery oil, battery water levels, all your routine maintenance, checking oil, your lubrication, or regularly checking. And then preventive maintenance is checking the other parts of the vehicle to ensure that as part of the servicing, they also do it. If you take it to a service station, they components and say whether everything is in working condition. The starter, we may not see, you may not understand, they'll tell that it's not working. Some other component, electrical wire, maybe failing, they may ask you to replace it. All those are your maintenance. Then comes your breakdown. Okay. So in say bike, some spare parts are like your say all your components are to be maintained as spares, but not in our individual cases. As an individual, we may not want to maintain all those spares. As needed, we may go to a store and buy this. Whereas, suppose I'm the transport department, maintain a lot of these spare parts like extra tires, extra tubes, and say extra gears, whatever is needed. They'll surely maintain all this because whenever they cannot just go to the market every time and buy it, they'll have a small stock of it. Similarly, factory, there'll be a lot of these where they need to keep stock of. There are fast moving, some slow moving. You would have read it in your Pareto analysis in your inventory costing, fast, slow moving. So where you need to be very closely watching whether you have stock or not, because moving every now and then somebody is asking for it. Again, you need to keep track whether there or not. You may know you'll miss that part maintained. Though it is slow, somebody will suddenly ask, don't give it, the factory's production will suddenly stop. That is probably some slow moving or maintained properly. And then supervisor, I need to all these spare parts, whether fast moving, slow moving, large, small, everything must be kept. I need to make sure that records of all this, inventory cards are maintained. Schedule maintenance, know when the major maintenance is coming up, what are all the components I'll need, what are all the spare parts I'll need. And then if there are specific suppliers to these spares, I need to have a track of all of them. It's helpful of a fast moving spare part. Costing concept, two-bin inventory system. Say bolts and nuts, particular size is used a lot in the factory, as assume. We'll keep taking it. You cannot supply bolt and nuts in terms of number of pieces in a factory. You say, how many pieces you want? 4 pieces, I'll give you 4 pieces. Raise request for another 4 pieces of bolt. Unwanted paperwork, unwanted loss of time, unwanted manpower, wasted. So what they will do, they'll 2 days or 2 tubs full of these bolts. Place an order to replace the tub. I'll give you a better example where you can relate to. Normally, many of you may be using LPG, 2 cylinders, one empty and one running. So, the current cylinder is empty. The full cylinder you will replace it. And the cylinder you place an order. Common, say the government department or wherever you are buying your LPG will come and the other cylinder. So that is more or less like 2-bin inventory. You have 2 bins, one is empty, you place an order, they replace it. By the time you will be using it. So factory, you need to ensure that all these are taken. And these vendors, where do they come in? ERP. We saw some time back, right? In ERP, package also system. So when one of them is empty, there is swipe card. In these days, there will be a swiping machine next to it. You swipe a card in that, immediately placed to the supplier. He may be there 10 kilometers away, 20 kilometers away, and he realized that, okay, I need to supply one bolt, size 7 to this, and he basically. But now they already built a technology where your fridge will monitor inventory of various ingredients. So they give you different places inside the fridge to keep milk and so buy butter, you buy vegetables. All these are you keep all these food stuff in the fridge. Intelligent technology which is monitoring all these items, and so quantity is low or it is empty. It will place an order with your Big Basket or Amazon Pantry, and it's delivered. You don't have to monitor it. So similarly, such technologies, if you're in home, I'm sure it's going to be there in factories. They would have already done that. So from where it's coming to the homes. It's first done in large scale, then it is take retail space. So tracks vendors, and then demand. Make fast moving ones. As I said, people asking for it. You need to keep delivering it, and if you don't have it, then there is a problem. So there are large quantities, cheap ones. These spares. Solar spares are your nuts, bolts, where it's very cheap, not very costly. People use it in large quantities, and that inch spare. Inch mitigating risk. There is a risk, it is mitigated. It's transferred to somebody. Non-spare is something which is regularly used, is not available when needed, will create huge loss. I was telling about this Germany example some time back, right? There is a critical spare part. Suppose this particular spare part is available only in Germany. My machine was imported from Germany, and this part also imported from Germany. Spare is required. I need to import it from Germany or keep it ready in spare. It is a spare part, but not available in our market. You need to import it. So I am having it as a special spare. Why buy it when needed from Germany? 2-3 months, and if it is not there, my product will be affected, which I don't want. So it's spare part. These are large components in a machine. These fail suddenly, but if it fails, the lead time to all very long. The process could be really heavy. The difference is these small components, these are large components. So our insurance spares, these are capital spares. As the name says, it's a large spare, which is normally used only with one type of machinery. Original equipment has itself a long life and with a failure, but it is important that you maintain the stock. Otherwise, say example I've given is a large air cooler for a plant, which is dead, and this is not working, then the machine will not work. So, it is a spare, but it's a high capital spare. You maintain that. So, like your stepney tires and these, you can get and then make it ready for further use, bring it back. Like the tire. Say puncture, you take stepney, place it in the punctured spot, take the tire out, and give it for tape puncture and all that. Give it back to your boot. And there is a puncture, you use that tire. Kept say moving around. So I have say 10 machinery spares, 30 spares. One put that spare and then take the one removed to servicing. Ideally, after servicing, next time there is a failure, I use the serviced part there. So that is repairable spare. Back for repairable spares. Think of your stepney tires. So original spare and remove for repair. When the tire is broken, there is a puncture, remove that, place a good one, and this punctured tire for servicing. So more coordination between stores and maintenance personnel to manage the stock. So important because stores will remove it, but must be done by maintenance team. So I am replacing it. It is a portable spare. I removed a tire, but I need puncture, right? Who's going to fit the puncture? I need to go to the maintenance department to do the maintenance. So in example, it's easier, but in a factory, it will be a bit more difficult. So think of a operator, not individual, but a large taxi operator's stock of tires. It's a nice example. With all the theory, yes. Question for any of the theory? So understood everything or didn't understand anything? Okay. Sure, I'll move on. We'll see. Good, understood. No questions. Perfect. So there are 6-7 of problems in this chapter. Maintenance, all are pretty simple. One thing, type problem that will take a long time to solve is this pair replacement. All the other questions will take 11 minutes to solve. So it's a sure chance of problems from this chapter. The time need is very 7 minutes or so problem. And again, always keep telling most of the questions come from your book. So don't worry, when I'm solving in the classroom, I'll take some odd examples. I'll throw into a sheet and then explain how it is done. And when you're trying out, try problem from the book, then it's easy to understand because they're with the answer. And 9 out of 100, they are going to ask a problem from the book or change just the number. So don't worry about get out of the WAC problem, which is totally difficult to solve and all that. It's simple, straightforward. The whole subject is like that. And the good thing about this is the problem from the books, and it's already available in my YouTube channel. So you can refer to those. Most problem types I've solved, including the bulk spare maintenance replacement. So it's available and you can refer whenever you want. We'll surely discuss in this classroom. So first, which are breakdown or preventive maintenance, reset, having between breakdowns, time to repair, and uptime, availability time, all this in a problem. Spares should be bought or not as part of the original asset. When you said should buy that extra spare part or not, that decision to make. And units of stock should I maintain? We saw stock levels, inventory levels for spare parts is also applicable. Fast moving, slow moving, minimum spare part quantity I need to maintain. I have one problem in this type. Each one will have one or two problems in the book. To know those problems. Exam problems are not going to be too far away from these examples. You can apply the logic, understanding, and so fundamentals you need to cross chapter. Please now, very important. You understand these well. See, what is the basis for many of these workings? By 10 minutes of when I have to decide months once should I perform this particular service, many months once should I replace this part. How all that? How do you come up with those numbers? How many months, how many units should I buy? How many ones should I service? This from your own experiences, right? That is in individual case, it can be your own experience or your friend, relatives, parents telling you that every day you have to give your bike for servicing. How about that? Experience. So you may want to, for they'll get historical data and they create observations. In school, you would have done the tally bar. Frequent, how many times it happened in the last 6 months. You keep lines and cross it for every fee. So doing tally bars to find out how many units are there in different frequencies. So your observation. And then cutting these observations into probabilities. What is the chance of this happening? What is the chance of the other thing happening? So probability. These are tails. What is the probability? Normally 50-50 is the probability. So doing all that. Historical observations into probabilities you need to understand. Because they'll give it to you as observations. In some problems they'll give it to us probabilities. So you need to be comfortable with both this. Instead of giving us absolute probability, they'll give it as cumulative probability. You have to be careful with that as well. So I'll show you an example. suppose I'm tracking breakdowns. Doing historical observation, statistical data. I'm collecting statistical data. Number of breakdowns happening in my fleets or my factory, the machines in my factory. There are no breakdowns on, say, 40 days. Which means no breakdowns at all on 40 days. Again, timeline. So, on only let's say 30, 60. On days there were only one breakdown. So many were there when they were one down. Say talking about, say, metropolitan buses. Suppose 1,000 buses in your corporation, buses, and there will be breakdown happening every day. Where somebody is measuring this, the maintenance department in the transport corporation measuring this, and they found there were zero breakdowns on 60. I'll numbers to make it 100 at the end, and then one breakdown in a day. Not bus, because they have 1,000 buses. Totally, how many breakdowns happened that day? Bus broke down that particular day. So there were there was only one breakdown. Suppose 90 days, and the breakdowns happening, say, 100 days. So the number is a bit 40, 60, 120. And there were days when there were 20 breakdowns. So staying on another 45 days, and then 4 breakdowns is happening on 30 days. Some level data. So the maintenance department was checking, having a tally bar. To find tally bar, you are know, I guess. So every turns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So the tally bar. Probably remember from your school days how you were trying to calculate. This is your type of the data as absolute number of days when breakdowns happened. Breakdowns happened only on 45 days. At least one breakdown was there on 60 days. 2 breakdowns were there on 120 days. 3 breakdowns, which means entire fleet there were 3 breakdowns. Buses were spread at different points in the city. Such breakdowns 45 days, 4 breakdowns 30 days. So totally 300 breakdowns. Now I can show it as it is, or prop breakdown. What is the outcome for a given set of chances for a given outcome? Number of breakdowns is the outcome. You can 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Head, tail is an outcome. So 0 breakdown is an outcome. Outcome means what could happen on a given day. Such was in 5 days out of the 300 days. Out of 300 days, 40 divided by 300. So 15% chance that there will be 0 breakdown. So 300 chance for 1 breakdown is 20%. Breakdowns 40%. Chance for again breakdowns 15%. 4 breakdowns 10%. Until always is 1 or 100%. This is probability. They may not show it to you as percentages. Normally as numbers like this. Probability is a chance, percentages, 20%, 40%, so on, or as decimals like this. 0.5 probability for 0 breakdown. So here we showed as absolute number of days, but looking number of days is not helpful, so I converted it into probability. So breakdown has 0.15 probability. 1 breakdown has 0.2 probability. 2 breakdowns has 0.4 probability, and so on. Now in this I can show it as cumulative probability, nothing but of that outcome, what are probability. So for 0 breakdown, only 0.5 probability, correct? What is of 0 down? 0.15. What is breakdown? 0.20. Now here clearly, what chance of up to 1 breakdown? Up to breakdown means it could be 0 breakdown or 1 breakdown. Up to 1 breakdown. So what should I do? I should get the data of all the outcomes before 1. So 35. Equal breakdown, breakdown. Only 35%. Similar up to 2 breakdowns. 0 breakdown, 2 breakdown. So T, that is the cumulative probability. So I do total previous probability and add current probability. Total previous probability in 2 comes to 2. Total probability of up to 1 is 35.5, and I add 0.4 for 2 outcomes, 2 breakdowns in a day. So what the chance of having up to 2 breakdowns in a day? Up to 2, it can be 0 breakdown, 1 breakdown, 2 breakdown. So probability of all of that together is 0.75. So up to 3 breakdowns, 90. Up to 4 breakdowns, 1. So this is our cumulative probability. So now here I'll leave this table for a few seconds for you to dice the content. All different ways of representing. In some problems, they'll give you this, In cases, they'll give you this. When they give it as cumulative probability, if you need to convert it into probability, do, but no problem. Converts cumulative probability minus the PV lines cumulative probability. So cumulative probability minus PV lines cumulative probability. Current cumulative probability minus outcomes cumulative probability. Current outcomes cumulative probability minus the previous outcomes cumulative. See this number. Converting from cumulative probability to probability or to cumulative probability. So problem may have just data, you may have to convert into probability. Just the cumulative probability, some cases, or convert it back from cumulative probability to probability. It could be anything. So remember how different ways the same number could be presented. That is very important. technically these are out frequency. Frequency. What is the outcome? Number of breakdowns is the outcome. Or frequency? Days in this case is the frequency. In some case it could be hours. Hours is the frequency. Minutes could be the frequency. All that. So probability frequency for that outcome free for all outcomes. That is by 300. Probability from probability probability the total probability for all outcomes of given outcome. Prob for 0 breakdown is 0.15. Probability up to 1 down. Probability all outcomes up to the current outcome. All outcomes up to the current outcome 0.20 is 0.3. For up to 2 is all probabilities up to 2, 0.1, 0.2, 0.4, totally 0.75. So the cumulative probability. Calculating probability from probability from current as previous outcome. Probability of current outcome or current line minus cumulative probability of the previous line. View probability that probability from cumulative. Why am I telling you all this? Because you may need this in the that's why I'm telling you this as fundamentals, because most of the topic you are going to read now, all the problem types is going to be probabilities. So this is very important. Okay, if you need 1 or 2 minutes, probably I'll give you a minute or two if you want to note it down. Not add this. It is not sum of outcomes. Comes head or tail. Head in outcome, tail in outcome. Add that to adding head or tail. That is just an outcome. The C of that outcome must be added to get total. Just that into the total, because the total is in the previous line itself, last line of the item. Total always 1. Totality of all the items together is 1. Heads, Y, tails. It cannot be anything other than 1. Saying 10 tosses or 10, not 10. I'm doing 20 times toss coin. 9 I got head, 11 I got tails. Possible. It will not exactly 5 and 5 or 10 and 10 all the time. But playing it with coins, the same 2 rupee coins, I keep doing it over and over and over. Usually it may come to outcome. In case outcome is the number of breakdowns, and suppose it for 20 times. So this was 9, this was 1, total stars. Sorry, the number of breakdowns, sum of frequency I selected. So it is not actually the number of breakdowns, total lot more. We'll come to that. 11 divided by 20, 45, totally 1. Come to that part. So once you have taken this down, of days, it's the total number of breakdown. We come to that calculation. I'll move it. Z breakdown on 45 days. So zeros, 1 on 60 days. So breakdowns. 2 rounds on 120 days. So 240 such breakdowns. 3 rounds on 45 days. So 135 total breakdowns. And breakdowns on 30 days. 120. Total number of breakdowns in the last 300 days. They had a total of 555 breakdowns. So this is the number of days when we had 2 breakdowns. Number of days when we had 3 breakdowns. Number of days when we had 4 breakdowns. And this is the total number of breakdowns. Now, so tossing a coin alone, I will move a bit. So this is just an example. Okay. So I'll select this. I ask for my channel. Let's look up for my Srisan PB in YouTube. You get SRIVATHSAN. Don't miss out the H. Followed by PB Marshall. And you get it. Some of the institute invitation doesn't have that H. My name. Or when I video go on there. Once you see the rest of the videos. So with the fundamentals, now let's go into the types of problems. Poisson distribution, I'll tell you when time comes. See, this probability, cumulative probability, all that you would have used in session as well. Among few chapters, simulation is one where you use all this. 4th chapter. So first, we'll The third one is set maintenance. Suppose and they are servicing to a or a there is a factory which is maintaining all its machines. Once they say suppose they have say 50 they have each maintenance is say 400. Supposed to additional data sessions same service and how the machine. So one perform service again machines that in first month itself say 10% of the machines 0.10 machines first month itself it fails, so you have to again do the service. There are which fail at the end of 2 months, say probably in 3 months point probability in 4 months 30, right? So again do yeah, full 5. So this before the next failure I perform maintenance. Once performed the maintenance, how long before it again fails? It requires us to do the maintenance again. Some in 1 month itself, some take 2 months, some take 3 months, 4 months, and 5 months. How much do I have? Totally 50 machines. Each service will cost me 400. So you have to for 1 year totally. Record the maintenance cost for 1 year. Problem. I think you've taken it down. Otherwise, I'll send it to you anyway. The group. So there are totally 5. Not suppose in this case there are totally 555 breakdowns. In how 300 days. Say what is the breakdown? Day I have on average 1.85 breakdown. There are 300 days. I did the calculation. Some one down, some had no breakdown, some had 3, 4. So I all that calculated all that. Now I know how many total breakdowns happened, and all up the total downs is only 185 average. Breakdowns per day 85. Can calculation differently? Different rating. So come in respect probability, and when up, I get the same thing. So what are out take down probability of 0.15, one down probability of 2, 2 probability of 0.4, probability of 0.15 again, breakdown probability of 0.1. When I just multiply the probability by outcomes and add, I get the average number of breakdowns. Just doing of number of breakdowns and days with the product, adding it all up, then dividing it by the total number of days. Into frequency, I get total of that divided by total frequency. I get that. Otherwise, I can just multiply it, the out probability. Somebody a question. Okay. Ask that question now, please. Will be changed. Okay. This is different and really different problem. I'm giving you different probabilities, not the same. This is of frequency, total terms, probability, cumulative probability, average. This is a complete different problem. Those were fundamentals, and here problem before failure and the probability of doing it. Since 50 questions, the fail in 1 month, you can calculate that. How many 2 months you can calculate that. So I have 50 machines. Probability, just giving a the explanation. So total 50 machines, 5 every 2 months. So how much per year? Every month there is a fair. Then there is a failure into 5 missions. I would have done 60 times servicing because every month it's failing. For the 6 times service missions, for the 4 times service, and then for these 10 missions, and some fraction, but anyway 12. So as I did 2 servicing per my 96,800. You can do it this way, not the right way or the easiest way to do it, long way around. I'll move the file. Now let's look out corresponding probability. So for failure, on average, every machine for 3 months after servicing. So let's average life for 3 months. So months total. So divide by machine. For machine, I need to average life here is 3 services. Have 50. In a, I need 4 person. Options I have. Options I have. T into 5 3. Station error somewhere. Let me come back to that in a bit. Probably I did some mistake in the previous calculation. So I'm doing totally 200 services. 400, 200 last. Sorry. So services per year, it's not 4, correct. So this is 3, 4 services per year. So here, please here, let me confirm this calculation. When I send you the king, I'll on average, every machine lasts 3 months. So service per year, every you need to do 4 services. You have friends, which is 4 services every year. Services, 50 minutes service per year. That is 4 services given in the problem. cost. So this example. So the answer, you need to 80,000 rupees every year towards service. Problem in the material. There are and the given failure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the if you add it up, it will add up to 1 for cost per mission service is 150 rupees. Probability we were talking about outcome 1 into corresponding probability, outcome 2 into its corresponding probability, outcome 3 into its corresponding probability. All that you add up as given. Number repair per mission per annum, we did that 12. In our case, the average is 3, and the services per mission per annum is services. Cost servicing is per service. So into number of missions 20 into cost per service 150. Same average service per year 4, mission 50, service cost so totally 200, and then 400 rupee per service, so 200 into 400, 80,000. As I said, missed some bit of calculation when I did it in detail, so don't doubt it, but you can surely calculate that. Shouldn't be a problem. So what is not required? Questions? In 4.84. Since some may come back to that later. So the problem solved. As I said, I'll share this workbook in the group. Compute. First type of problem, cost of maintenance. So there are problems like this in the book. Probably time, yeah, it's 3:30. We'll continue tomorrow with rest of the problem types. We take probably 1 hour or so for all these types. The type could be done in about 45 minutes. 1 hour. So 2 hours we should be able to do it. Otherwise, we can continue it in the 1 week. Questions, please. Please get yourself added to the group for me to send to everyone. There is what are some WhatsApp groups? I don't know if you have some space in there yet. Out. So group has 256 out of 257. Another has 6 out of 257. There are 2 groups. In each you have 256 people. Groups are full. problems you have the answer in the book itself. You can go to the YouTube link. That is where I am posting all these lectures as well, so you can visually look at the answers. So the channel update. There are playlists. Channel is also the same, Srivatsan BB. Chapter, what lectures we had, you have that, and then introduction chapter. There are a few other posts. Chapter 7 maintenance. You will have a playlist of all problem types here: capital asset replacement, spare replacement, breakdown maintenance, bulk spare replacement, and so on. So how to copy the channel link? We can copy the channel link and paste in the subject. Abortion. I don't have to do it. Search for CB and then you will have all the lectures here. If you want to have regular notifications, because I may post videos even after are done. So some of these are for the old batches I've done here. So just subscribe if you want, and you will get notification in your mails. Okay, so if you have questions, you can post it in my WhatsApp number, or it in the next class. Doubts ready. As soon as you join the class, just ask the questions and I'll be more than happy to respond. Just posted the link. Share. Okay. So see you tomorrow again. Because last week 2 days, Professor sorry. So today and tomorrow I'll be doing OMSM. Tomorrow also maintenance chapter, rest of the chapter. Thank you all.